Hello everyone, I will be making a video saying my favorite hip hop albums from every year from 2010 to 2024. And I know I've never really talked about it too much on the channel, but I'm a massive music fan, hip hop fan mainly, and I've listened to a lot of albums and I just really haven't gotten a chance to talk about it much. So I thought I'd just make this video. And starting off from 2010, we have Kanye's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. This one is pretty easy. There's really not another rap album that came out that year that is even close to Dark Fantasy. Now, is Dark Twisted Fantasy kind of overrated? Yes. I don't think it's Kanye's best album like a lot of people would say it is. I think it's probably his third behind College Dropout and Graduation. But it's still an amazing album. I'd say it's like 8 out of 10 range, very like high 8 out of 10, because there are some tracks that are not very good. For example, you got Blame Game, Monster, and then, now this might be kind of controversial because a lot of people say this song is underrated, but I think So Appalled is not very good. I find it very boring and just not a great song in general. But other than that, literally like every other song is incredible. Like Dark Fantasy, amazing. Gorgeous, amazing. And like some of Kanye's best rapping on both of those is, present. And then you got songs like All the Lights, which is, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 if you want to say it is. The production is some of the best on any song you're ever going to hear. Songs like Power, obviously, which a lot of people have said it's kind of overrated and people get tired of it because of how like popular it already is, but I still think it's an amazing song. And then you got the best Kanye song in my opinion, and one of the best hip-hop songs of all time, which is Devil in a New Dress. It's from start to finish, the production, Kanye's verse, Rick Ross's verse, they're all 11 out of 10s in their category. It is an unreal song. The vibe is like unmatched, and it is like that song. If there's like a vault that people make to keep like the best music for any, like just anything, Devil in a New Dress needs to be in there. And honestly, you could put like a lot of songs from Fantasy on there. And then you have Runaway, which in my opinion, Runaway is not that good. Now, that's going to be very controversial, but I don't think Runaway just as a whole song is very good. I think it's good. It's just not great. Like the first 2 minutes of the song are like the best 2 minutes of any song you're ever going to hear. But then the last like 7 minutes, it just kind of has, I don't know. It just doesn't stick. I don't know. I really never liked Runaway that much, to be honest. But still, overall, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, still an incredible project. It's groundbreaking, amazing production, a lot of great verses, and I think it's absolutely the best song of 2010. Now, moving on to 2011, I really haven't listened to many, if any, hip-hop albums from 2011, except this. Now, this might be a strange pick, but I'm going with the Death Grips Ex-Military mixtape. This mixtape, and I listened to it not too long ago, and it was suggested by a friend, blew my mind because I had already listened to The Money Store and Bottomless Pit, but Ex-Military, in my opinion, was way better than both of those. And I think The Money Store was good. I didn't really like Bottomless Pit too much, but the Ex-Military was unreal. Just the production, the energy behind every song is insane. The only thing I can kind of pick at for Ex-Military is that Beware, the intro track, is kind of like way better than every other song. But about Beware, that song it's one of the best songs I've ever heard. Also, like the Charles Manson sample for like 50 seconds from that interview was crazy, but like it built up, the song, and then it cuts to that like crazy like production where it has that like you just can't really even explain it. It's like I literally can't explain the production. There's a bunch of guitar riffs and like sample layering, but it's just like all mixed together in the way that's like almost like otherworldly. And then you have like MC Ride, the rapper for Death Grips, he just like yelling over every production layer. and it's just like it actually fits, like it mixes together really well, and his vocal fits like the tone really well, and it's like the writing of the song is like written in like it's like ancient text or something. Like it is insane. It's one of the most insane, like blew me away songs I've ever heard. But there are also a lot of really other great songs on the album, like Spread Eagle, Cross the Block, and then you have like I'm trying to think. All the other songs I'd say, like other than Beware, are about equally as good. And if I had to rate Ex-Military, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 too. More on like the middle ground, like a mid 8. It's an incredible project. It's really insane. I think it's Death Grip's best work to date. Now, in 2012, this is very easily, without even question, Good Kid, Mad City. Blows out, like, it's debatably Kendrick's best album, too. It's, like, so nostalgic. Great verses, great production. It just great everything. It's, like, very, like, there's just something about Good Kid, Mad City that's, like, it's one of those albums that is, like I said earlier, just very nostalgic. Like, that and Igor, even though Igor was released, like, 7 years later, still, like, I don't know. There's just something about that brings you back to a time where it just gives off good vibes, even though the album itself is about like a lot of dark topics. But Good Kid, Mad City, easily the best of 2012. Not even a question. It's a 10 out of 10 album. And what's crazy is like the other two albums have like amazing like starter tracks. I think Shireen, the starting track for Good Kid, Mad City, is like probably the worst track on the album, if I'm being honest. But other than that, like, you know, B Don't Kill My Vibe, Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, like, you know, Swimming Pools, and freaking like Mad City. Like, I mean, I could just go on and on and on. Every single track is amazing, and like the bonus tracks on the album, or the deluxe edition, just made it even stronger. Like, it's insane how good Good Kid, Mad City is. Moving on to 2013, another year I haven't really listened to many rap albums from. The only one I can think of that I've listened to is Yeezus. Groundbreaking record. I don't think it's really that great of an album. I think it's good. I'd say it's like a 7 out of 10. There are just some songs that aren't that good, but Yeezus, groundbreaking, very experimental, very like grungy, like, you know, rough production, but very like explosive at the same time. I'd say obviously the best track is a Black Skinhead, not even a question. A lot of people would say, you know, like Bound to and stuff like that, but there's just something about the energy of Black Skinhead that is like so hard hitting. It's insane. And just like Kanye has like these crazy rapping very loudly, and the production just very hard hit. It's just a punch in the gut. That's like literally what the song is. Amazing song. But, you know, the album, it's still good. Nothing great, because there are some tracks like I'm In It, and then there's like Send It Up and Blood on the Leaves, which I know a lot of people like Blood on the Leaves, but I've never really liked it that much. But just for that, yeah, it's not a great album. It's a good album. Now, moving on to 2014, this is kind of tough because I've actually never listened to an album from 2014, so I will unfortunately have no answer for this, but a lot of people say Pinata, and one of my friends recommended Pinata. But here's the thing. I've heard some of it, and I hate boom bap rap, like old school rap, and that's what a lot of Pinata sounded like, and which is unfortunate because I really do not like the sound of boom bap. So I don't know. I'm not going to give it anything. Maybe my mind will change about Pinata. Maybe I'll go back and listen to it. But as for right now, I don't really have an answer. Now, moving on to 2015, I mean, it's To Pimp a Butterfly. In my opinion, the best rap album of all time. Greatest rap album production, versus like concept song. Right? It is genuinely, start to finish, there's like almost every song is a 10 out of 10. I mean, there's really nothing for me to say. Just like, there are some songs on there that are legitimately better than a lot of like artists, like entire albums, like Wesley's Theory, How Much a Dollar Cost, All Right, For Sale Interlude, Blacker the Berry, like just all those tracks. I could name off literally like any of them. You, like Mortal Man, just on and on and on. All the songs, 10 out of 10. Like, it's stupid how good To Pimp a Butterfly is. It's my favorite rap album of all time too, but I'm not even trying to be biased. Like, I also love Rodeo. Rodeo has some of the best production you're ever going to hear too. And you have songs like 90210, which I think are a top 10 hip-hop song of all time. But yeah, even though I love Rodeo and I've been listening to a lot of it recently, I still I have to give it to Pimp a Butterfly. It's my favorite. It's too classic and it's too iconic and it's just too good. And it's just a better album. Moving on to 2016, a lot of people do not know about this album unless they're very they're very nerdy about hip hop. And what I mean by that is a lot of people would say, oh, it's Kanye's Life of Pablo. Wrong. I have an album that is actually, in my opinion, much better than The Life of Pablo, which is Atrocity Exhibition by Danny Brown. If you know, you know. This album, when I listened to it, was one of the most just unreal, insane experience I've ever had. Like, the production there's not a single album out there that sounds remotely anything like Atrocity Exhibition. It's insane. Like, it's so cool and so and it's got there's so much variation. There's chill songs, and then there's very loud and aggressive songs, and then it's just it's all over the place, and it's really good. And Danny Brown's rapping is otherworldly. I mean, it's insane. His flows are genuinely some of the best I've ever heard in rap. They're insane. His flow off of songs like Ain't It Funny and When It Rain, they're in genuinely in some of the best flows I've ever heard. It's just he's a genius. And not only that, but the lyrical concepts on every song are just insane, because it's he's a conscious rapper rapping over the most sporadic and insane beat you're ever going to hear. It's crazy how he does it, but it sounds so good and is such high quality. It's easily a 9 out of 10 album, very close to 10 out of 10. It's insane. It absolutely deserves the spot for 2016. Now, moving on to 2017, I'm going to go Damn here. I love Kendrick. He's my favorite. And I'm not even, saying that because, Damn is, I'm being biased. But, also, I don't really know what else is in 2017. Maybe I'm just not thinking or I'm not remembering. But, I mean, there's Flower Boy. But, I think Damn is better than Flower Boy. I mean, but also I think Damn is very overhated. And I think it's closer to Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City than people think or would like it to be, because a lot of people will hold T-Pab and Good Kid, Mad City to a level higher than the rest of this category, but I think Damn deserves to be up there too. It is incredible. I don't think people realize how many amazing songs are on there. You have songs like DNA, which is some of the best rapping you're ever going to hear. And you have Feel, you have Duckworth, XXX, Lust, Pride, and they're all very different songs too. They're all, I mean, of course they're all very dark, but Pride is very psychedelic and spacey. And then you have Duckworth, which is classic, but then you have these weird vocals where it's chanting, and then you have XXX where it's very raw at first, just trap beats, and then Kendrick mumbles over it, and then it switches to the verses with U2. But yeah, overall, I mean, this album's still a 9 out of 10, very, very close to a 10 out of 10. I mean, it's probably a decent 9. I wouldn't say it's as good as Atrocity Exhibition, but yeah, it's very easily 9 out of 10. Amazing album with a lot of amazing songs, and it deserves the spot for 2017. Now, moving on to 2018, I think there were a lot of really good albums in 2018. There's so many albums. There's not so in my opinion, there's not one standout massive groundbreaking record like there are on kind of the other years. For 2010 it was Dark Twisted Fantasy, and then for 2015 it was To Pimp a Butterfly and Rodeo. I think they're just a wide collection of very good albums, and what I mean by that is a large amount of 7 out of 10 albums Astro World and Veteran by JPEG Mafia. But I think the one to me that stands out the most is Taboo by Denzel Curry. This album, I have had so many opinions on it over the time when I listened to it, which was it was last school year. I mean, it's summer now and I'm out of school, but I think it was first semester, so like in the fall. But at first I loved it, and then I started to not like it and think it was very overrated. Well, I still liked it. I thought people were overrating it, but then it grew on me very recently. Like, well, I would say over the past like few weeks, it grew on me again, like by a lot. And I really like it now. And I think it's like a very strong, like 8 to 9 or something. And it's just very consistent, great rapping performances, great production. And it's just a very like easy album to replay. I'd say the best song, it's kind of hard picking the best song because like there's so many songs for what kind of mood you want to be in. Like there's Black Balloons if you want to feel like vibey, and then there's Black Metal Terrorist, which if you're very angry and like very aggressive, like just listen to that and get a good workout in. Like that song's crazy. That's probably my most played song on the album, honestly. It's so good, and his rapping is just unreal. There's also Vengeance, which is really good with my boy JPEG Mafia on there, who has a great verse, and Zilla Kami, which he might have the best verse on that track, actually. But if I had to guess, or if I had to pick, I would say the best is probably Black Balloons. This is probably the most replayable and vibey. But it's a very hard pick. Like, that could easily switch to, like, a couple other songs. Now, moving on to 2019, I'm obviously going to go with Igor by Tyler, the Creator. Now, before anyone yaps at me, yes, I know a lot of people say this isn't a rap album, but I still think it kind of is because there are a lot of rapping performances on it. Like, for example, What's Good, like, that's just, like, pure rapping. Even though maybe, like, not every song is rapping, I still think there's a good bit of, like, rapping being done on the album to classify it as a rap album. So for that reason, I'm including it. I think Igor, in my opinion, is like one of the only true albums out there that are a genuine 10 out of 10. And what I mean by this, I'm not saying it's better than like some of my favorite records, but like that there's literally not a song on there that is below a 9 out of 10. Like most songs on that album are like 10 out of 10s or like very close to 10 out of 10s. Like the consistency on Igor is mind blowing. It's so good. It's going to produce some of the best vibes you're ever going to hear from an album in general. And like, you know, you have songs like Igor's Theme, and it sounds like kind of, you know, like mysterious, but then you hop into Earthquake, which are like very vibey. And then you get to songs like I Think, which I played, so many times over and over again. Like, it's insane. Running Out of Time, I used to not really like it that much, and then it grew on me. And just like Boy Is a Gun, and basically all the songs they're just so amazing. The track list is so good, and I think the best song is easily Gone Gone Thank You. It's like without a question one of the best songs I've ever heard. Just the production in the first and second half is so good. Tyler's vocals, it's just incredible. And a masterpiece of a song. Yeah, I guess there's really nothing else for me to say. But now moving on to 2020. Okay, here's the thing about 2020. Now, I haven't heard very many rap albums from 2020 besides, and you probably already know I'm going to say, Whole Lotta Red. A lot of people say Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs is the best record from that year, but because I've never heard Alfredo, I cannot put it ahead of Whole Lotta Red. And again, if Alfredo is boom bap, then no, I won't, because I don't like boom bap. I don't like old school rap. And I genuinely do think A Whole Lotta Red is kind of overrated. I do think it's bloated and that there are a lot of like tracks that aren't very good, but there also is a lot of quality on the record. Like you have Stop Breathing. I forgot the first song. It's something Rockstar. I forgot. Maybe it is just Rockstar. I can't remember what it is actually. But there's that. Then there's Feel Like Dying, I Love You, I Hate You, Control. There's a lot of good songs on there. I would say A Whole Lotta Red is like a 6, maybe a 7 out of 10, but that might be pushing it. But I think there's a lot of quality on the album. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. And it is very, like, extremely influential in modern day rap. Like, I mean, Cardi, he's not the best artist out there. He's like kind of mid because he has a lot of good songs, a lot of bad songs, but the influence from that record is insane. So, I mean, honestly, in a way, you kind of like almost have to put it for like at least the most important album of 2020, like, because it's so influential. It's like its own 808s and Heartbreak, you know? But moving to 2021, I would say, well, I haven't listened to a lot of records except for LP by JPEG Mafia. That album's great. A lot of really interesting, different production, very vibey. It's not as aggressive as his other albums like Veteran or I Lay Down My Life for You or Scaring the Hose or anything. But LP it's such a vibe too. I mean, of course, there's, tracks like, what's the album with like the WWE sample and it turns into the rock and roll or whatever. But other than that, they're all very chill, very nice. And the album is, I would say, fairly consistent. If I had to rate it, I'd give it like an 8, maybe a 9 out of 10. Very good. I would say the best song is probably Kissy Face Emoji. Just, I don't know, it's just vibes. I mean, if I had to summarize the record in one word, it'd be vibes, because it's just a very vibey record. That's all I gotta say about it. Just very nice and high quality. Now, moving on to 2022, I think this is the best year for rap of the 2020 so far. Because of 3 albums, you have The Forever Story, Melt My Eyes to Your Future, and why am I not thinking of it? Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Out of those 3, it comes down pretty close between The Forever Story and Melt My Eyes. I'm going to give it to The Forever Story, but it's close because I think The Forever Story is a bit more consistent, because there are some songs that I don't really like on Melt My Eyes, even though I think Melt My Eyes to Your Future is like a 9 out of 10. I think The Forever Story is very close to a 10 out of 10, and just, I don't know, there's just it's more consistent. I think the highs are also just as high, if not higher than they are on Melt My Eyes. Like, on Melt My Eyes, I'd say the highest is like Walkin' and Melt Session 1 and Zatoichi. But I think the highs on The Forever Story are like Cody Blue 31, Sis and Them, Louder 2, stuff like that. Those songs are incredible. I think the best song from The Forever Story is probably Cody Blue 31. It's just such an incredible vibe. Like, the Jid's Jid as a singer is absolutely like, he's so good as a singer too. He's an amazing rapper, but also at singing, he can just do incredibly well. Like, and his flows are amazing too on like every song. His like lyrical content and storytelling is amazing, and the production is very like, I want to say like this album is very like Kendrick Lamar inspired, and it kind of feels that way, but it's more like immersive in a way almost. Like, it's very interesting. It's a very cool album, and I highly recommend it to anyone. But overall, yeah, just an amazing album, and with a lot of amazing songs on there that can be put up there for some of the best in all of hip hop. Like, it's a great, amazing album. And I think Jid, like, he has the potential to be like the next Kendrick Lamar. I'm not even like trying to glaze Jid when I say that, but like, he is, I feel like he is kind of similar to Kendrick Lamar, and just like his style of like rapping and like producing and stuff like that, or where he gets his production from. I don't know. I just feel like he is kind of similar. But moving on to 2023, which is also, so this is very tough, because I recently, literally today, listened to an album called Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty. Now, I've not listened to any of Lil Yachty's albums before that one. All I know is he's made a lot of like mumble trap music, which I genuinely strongly dislike. But that album was so incredible. Like, I wish I could consider it a rap album, but it's not. It's definitely like a psychedelic rock album. Even though it was made by like, a well-known rapper, that album is, I think, better than what what I am going to give to the 2023 spot, which is Scaring the Hose by JPEG Mafia. I think that's the best rap album of the year. I think Let's Start Here is honestly, probably better than Scaring the Hose, but Let's Start Here, I mean, that album blew me away the first time I heard it. I mean, from a mumble rapper like Yachty to go from, mumble rap to like psychedelic rock like that and do it so well, like he executed it so incredibly well. It's so much respect for Lil Yachty after he did that, because a lot of rappers like Lil Baby and stuff, like they do the same thing over and over again and people get very tired and bored of it. But Lil Yachty, and because he said he wanted to be he wanted to be taken more seriously as an artist, and I mean, I think he earned it. That album was incredible, and I would have had it for the 2023 spot, but I think since Scaring the Hose is like more of a rap album, I'd have to give it to it. But yeah, Scaring the Hose, it's a great project too, like 8 out of 10 range. Most of the songs are very consistent, I would say. The production is absolutely wild. Like, it is all over the place, like very like glitchy, very loud, very like heavy bass. And somehow Danny Brown like flows over it so well. Like they both do. It's kind of crazy how they just make it work so well. And I'd say my favorite song from the from the record is, it's either Steppa Pig or Garbage Pail Kids. I would probably say I've played Steppa Pig a bit more, and because it has maybe the best beat drop I've ever heard of any song. The beat drop on Steppa Pig is unreal. Like, in the production in between, like when it happens, is some of the best I've ever heard from a rap song. Like, it's crazy. I love it so much. Sometimes I'll literally play the song just to hear the beat drop. It's so good. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. Very loud, noisy, very chaotic, but Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia make it work so well, and I think they earned it. Now, moving on to 2024. 2024, in my opinion, was it was a very good year for hip-hop, obviously. You had a lot of great records, like a lot of people will throw out, GNX, Chromacopia. There's a lot of hype behind those two. And then people will say, Dark Times by Vince Staples or Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q, which I actually haven't listened to those two. Maybe I should, but I probably won't. But my pick, and this is going to be a lot less popular, is 2093 by Yeat. I've actually kept up with Yeat for a very long time. He's probably like the first rapper I seriously listened to, just because I really didn't listen to music. And my cousin listened to him, and he showed me, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll listen to this guy. And I wasn't even a big Yeat fan until he dropped Afterlife in 2023. And I like kind of kept up with him a little bit. But then he dropped 2093. And that album was so, like, at first I didn't like it because I had never heard like anything sound remotely like it. But eventually, it took a while, but the album grew on me a lot. I love this album. I think it's a 9 out of 10 easily. Even though it is a very long album, like, it's just so many good songs in general. Like, the production, I genuinely think there's not an album out there, or at least in the hip hop category, that even sounds remotely close to it. I think it has a lot of inspiration from Rodeo. Like, you can definitely tell there is some Rodeo in the album and a lot of Travis Scott influence, but like the production itself and like just the way, I don't know, Yeat raps over it, it is nothing like I've ever heard from any other album. It is so unique, and I think Yeat absolutely earns the spot for 2024 the best rap album. It's just like the concept behind 2093 is also like, people don't talk about, like, Yeat is obviously not known for his like songwriting, because he's really not a good songwriter, because he just doesn't have good lyrics. But in 2093, specifically that album, the whole like concept of like, it's just crazy, because it's a very, like, in a way you could say it is like a conscious like rap album. And it's crazy because I've said this before, I think Miss Around the Big Steppers is going to be one of the most influential modern rap albums. And I feel like it does have some Miss Around the Big Steppers influence, like looking within yourself and stuff. It is Songwriting is great. Production is otherworldly because it is literally otherworldly. 2093 from the future, and alien. Like it just screams alien, and that's like Yeat's little thing. He makes alien music. It's crazy. I would say the best song is "Tell Me." Unreal production from start to finish, and like the songwriting is great. Like, and the switch between like the very dark to like sad, like violin is like, it's crazy. That song is, even though I don't really replay it a lot, it's still a phenomenal track. But then you also got songs like Psycho CEO, If We Being Real, 1093, like Team CEO, Shade. Like, I go on and on. Like, there's so many great / amazing tracks on that album. It's really, I think 2093 is insanely underrated. And I think it is the best rap album of 2024. Yeah, I hope y'all liked the video. That was a little going off of the taste of my music. And I don't know what y'all think. And see y'all later. Bye.